So, how has global philanthropy evolved over this year? I did read that people who are extremely wealthy are giving out, and as we just heard, those smaller donations that really can make a big difference are going down. Does it impact different regions, different sections of the United States differently?
Um, I can't necessarily speak to that, but we are seeing unbelievable amounts of donations coming from the top tier, very, very wealthy. As of today, 6 Americans are worth more than $200 billion, and nobody had that kind of wealth 5 or 6 years ago. And with the rising stock values that the top tier of our economic infrastructure is today, these these top philanthropists are giving at amounts that we've never seen before, as you said at the top of the story.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these. Mackenzie Scott, who has basically been
Mhm.
giving money since the second she got all those tens of billions of dollars, and also Phil Knight. No secret there, a man who made a simple fortune
Mhm.
running Nike.
And Michael Dell and his wife just gave $6.5 billion for education funds. I think you're seeing these folks step up because they want influence and they want clout, and they're able to get it when they're able to write these types of checks.
So, what motivated the biggest donors? And are we seeing shifts where this money is going for perhaps climate concerns, health, conflict relief, education?
We are seeing it moving away from climate concerns, unfortunately, but we are seeing it more in kind of legacy donations where you can have influence in politics. We are seeing clearly arise. And on the other side of things, we're seeing less coming from everyday average people as a result of the current economy. So it's I think as your previous guest had shared, it's a seesaw that we're seeing. The numbers are going up by the highly extremely wealthy and less dollars from everyday donors.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about these economic headwinds that people are trying to navigate right now, because it's very difficult with the job situation, the economy, unemployment
Mhm.
high, uncertainty about the job growth, interest rates, where are they going? So let's talk about how that is affecting charitable giving and the financial
Sure.
stability of nonprofits, because those are the entities that really need to focus on this right now.
Well, and they need it more now than ever. But the economy has a direct but nuanced impact on philanthropy. When people feel financial pressure, everyday giving from household obviously tightens. But at the same time, when we are seeing a lot of economic uncertainty, our giving tends to be sharper in focus. Donors may become more strategic, more values driven, and interestingly enough, in the last year, the numbers going to alternative kind of philanthropy like GoFundMe,
Right.
where you can literally donate to somebody to pay their electric bill or their monthly groceries. Those numbers are climbing like we've never seen it before.
To what degree do you think small donors are also concerned about where their money is going? Is it going to go to administrative funds, or is it actually going to go to the people that really need it?
Well, I run a company called McPherson Strategies. We work with philanthropic organizations, non NGOs, corporations on their corporate responsibility. And I can honestly say we are seeing, as again your previous guest talked about, so much noise in the kind of between social media and the news cycle. So nonprofits are struggling to get their messages out,
Hmm.
but when they do, people are hearing it, listening, and responding.
Wow, we really have to work on getting that message out because they're so important. Are smaller and community based organizations being hit harder than the larger
Yes.
international charities?
Um, I think everyone, I mean, with the closing down of USAID,
Hmm.
that hit hundreds and hundreds of NGOs that worked on a global scale in global humanitarian aid, et cetera. So that those dollars need to be made up. And smaller community organizations definitely are having challenges because they do have to put some of their funding in operational costs. I mean, that is just a given. So it's a bit of a challenge out there, but I do feel that when you looked at the Giving Tuesday numbers,
Right.
which were up year over year, I don't think it is all doom. I
You know,
just think people are going to be more measured in where they're giving to, and potentially we're seeing more being donated to local community causes
you
that
know,
affect us every day.
Indeed, and I've said it before in this program. I worked for a year in Afghanistan for the U.S. State Department, and I worked side by side
Oh,
with USAID, and those people did heroic work. I'm not talking about good work. I'm talking about heroic work,
yep.
saving lives, working in difficult conditions. So I really talk about that whenever I can. So with that in mind, how can governments, corporations, high net worth individuals do more to get this word out?
Well, keep educated, stay up on the news, and get your employees thinking about this, right? Employee engagement helps your bottom line. When you have productive employees that are happy about their day to day jobs, if they're able to volunteer, if they're able to offer skills based volunteering, that also can be very, very helpful for nonprofits that are struggling right now. But companies have to make that a priority. And it, as we're heading into the holiday, well, we're very close to the holiday season, but as you're kicking off your plans for 2026, make that a priority if you're a corporation. If you're a high net worth individual, your stock market returns have gone up in the past 3 to 4 years in unbelievable measures. You have the chance to be benevolent and to get your voice heard and to make some good in the world.